Welcome everybody to another podcast here for punchtheface.com.
Hello.
I'm your host Brandon Stubbs, aka punch_the_2the face on Twitter, and I'm joined by always by the lovely Miss Donna, aka Miss Donna 61.
Minus my theme music, Mike.
Yeah, Big Mike, Miss Donna didn't get her theme music. Don't know if it would have got played anyway, but that's for you two to settle out. Y'all can do that Twitter beef. I ain't in that. Whatever. This week, Miss Donna, we got our guy Miguel Cotto versus Sergio Martinez.
Yes.
We got domestic Golden Boy boxing. We got other couple loose nuggets in MMA I want your opinion on. But
some hot mess.
Let's first start off here. We're here with Cotto Martinez. Puerto Rican Day weekend. Big parade on Sunday. You've got Madison Square Garden, which is virtually a sellout. I think it may be a sellout as of now, but I know they were really close to selling it out. That's Miguel Cotto's home. I mean, that's his home away from home.
That's it.
Gets a lot of love shown by Puerto Rican fans there for him. He's moving up in weight class to middleweight, challenging for yet another title. Sergio Martinez is among the best fighters pound for pound in the world. As I've said before, and I'll say again, if it was someone else Sergio Martinez was fighting this weekend, I would be cheering for him. Love Sergio Martinez, solid fighter. But unfortunately, with this, my journalistic bias goes out the window when Miguel Cotto fights. I'm sorry, regardless of whoever Miguel Cotto fights, I'm going to cheer for him.
Woo!
You already know where Miss Donna stands on that.
I love me some Cotto.
Now, this is going to be Cotto's second fight here with trainer Freddie Roach. Training's been going well. Cotto looks to be in shape. Really doesn't look all that much bigger than he did in his last fight at 154 pounds. Granted, he's moving up here to fight at 160, so he actually looks to be about the same size.
Right.
But one thing about him, he seems happy. He's smiling a lot more. You know,
he's happy.
Something you really rarely saw in Miguel Cotto. He's always very stone-faced, very little emotion. But he
still got that now. He'll still give you that.
He still gives you that stone face, but you actually see more glimpses of him smiling, more of him joking. He just seems at peace and seems, at amends with everything in his life.
He is not a trash talker. Okay?
He's not. And there was a little bit of that going on, a little posturing when the contracts were originally being done here by both parties, kind of diva-like, if you will. Who was going to be the A side and who was going to be the B side. And in other words, meaning who would be the first name billed opposed to the second name. Who's going to be red corner, who's going to be blue corner. Sergio felt some kind of way about him, kind of being felt like he was the second class in this. Granted, he's the champion. He feels a little bit slighted. He may have an argument there. He is the champion. He's defending his title, but Miguel Cotto is the moneymaker.
That's right.
Miguel Cotto's done pay-per-views before. This actually going to be Sergio Martinez's second pay-per-view. First one came a couple years ago against Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., a.k.a. Fatty Fat.
Now.
But in that fight, he hurt his knee. He hurt his knee in that fight.
Sergio is just in it for a payday. Payday.
The thing is this, though.
Got to wear a knee brace.
You have to wear a
knee sleeve.
That is the key point, is knee sleeve. With that, Ms.
Elastic compression.
Better be wearing no Spanx in the ring. That would be very awkward. With that though, Miss Donna, if you have to wear something on your knee, that shows that you're not 100% confident. You're not 100% confident in your knee. Now he also re-aggravated that same knee injury during his last fight here against Martin Murray. Martin Murray. I don't know, whatever the UK middleweight fighter is.
You know what? If I was Cotto, I'd kick him in his knee.
You can't kick him in his knee. It's boxing. It's not kickboxing. You can't kick him in his knee. But also in that same fight, in Sergio's last go-round, he broke his hand. So, not only is he battling a knee injury, he's he's fighting again with a broke hand. There's a lot of stake.
He just keeps telling everybody he's 100%. No, you're not. If you were 100%, you wouldn't have to wear the sleeve.
And that's something you see, with any other sport there is, whether it be NFL or NBA. If you see somebody wearing a knee, that means they have had knee issues in the past. If you don't,
and you're not fully.
You're not either fully healed or you're fully confident in that knee and this ability to for the movement. And that's one thing that's a big part of Sergio Martinez's game is his movement. He moves a lot. He works angles to set up punches. Now, obviously our pick here is going to be Miguel Cotto.
That's right.
The only thing that I would worry about, and that's just making me hesitate in any sort of way, is I have to use a little bit of common sense here, is that we both know Miguel Cotto does sometimes bust up and cut easily.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. If he gets cut early.
Yeah, if he gets cut early, that could be a problem.
Be a big issue.
But I will say this, the fight is close in any way, shape, or form. Miguel Cotto's the hometown fighter. Granted, he's not born in New York, but he's the hometown fighter. Top Rank is putting on this card, co-promoting it with Lou DiBella. You think Top Rank's going to let Miguel Cotto lose in New York? He did lose his last time. He did lose a fight in New York to Austin Trout.
Yes, we know. We don't want to relive.
You know,
we know. I know.
But
that still hurts.
The chances of that happening 2 times in a row in New York, highly unlikely. Sergio Martinez is going to need to get a knockout, I think, in order to win a fight if it's close.
He's saying that this is going to be the fight of the history.
Well, I mean, it will be. It's a huge accomplishment for Miguel Cotto. He's moving up and could be the first Puerto Rican. I think it's going to either be
I'm talking about Sergio.
Sergio, Sergio, he needs this win to really submit his legacy in boxing.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
true.
For Miguel Cotto, his legacy's already been set. So, we'll see on Saturday. You never know. We may do a podcast right afterwards and just gloat about Miguel Cotto's win. That's just how we roll. But the official picks here, Miguel Cotto, do you think he's going to knock him out or is it going to go to full 12?
I think it's going to go to full 12 because Sergio hates him.
Mm-hmm.
I can't imagine anybody hate my man. But anyway, I think it's going to go to full 12 rounds. It's going to be a slugfest.
I think it's going to be a highly enjoyable fight. Unfortunately for the fans who ordered on pay-per-view, you're going to have to sit through a shit undercard. Thank you, Top Rank, and Miguel Cotto Promotions, and Lou DiBello.
Hey.
But the main event's going to be good, and I agree with that. It's going to go the full 12 rounds.
It's going to be a slugfest. So,
I honestly think both guys are going to get knocked down throughout the course of the fight.
Have your snacks, your drinks, be ready, because it's okay.
Have your tomatillas or whatever.
Whatever.
I don't know. That sounds really racist. Speaking of racist, Richard Schaefer, Swiss banker.
Okay. He's scary looking.
He does have very much a creeper vibe about him. Like, I'm going to stop there because I'm going to say something to get myself in trouble. Yeah. But Richard Schaefer is now formerly of Golden Boy Promotions. He quit this week. Pretty much told Oscar, deuces. As we all know, it's been, I
didn't even give a 2-week notice.
Didn't give a 2-week notice. But there's been a little bit of friction amongst the two guys now.
But who didn't see that coming? Come on.
Unfortunately, it's true, But Richard Schaefer done a lot for Golden Boy and a lot for boxing while Oscar was away in rehab for various addictions.
Girls and drugs.
He likes cocaine and pantyhose.
Yeah.
So, Richard Schaefer, he has a spot. He can get a job with anybody. One thing Floyd Mayweather made clear during his fight last month against Marcos Maidana in the post-fight press conference was, if Richard Schaefer was to leave Golden Boy, he has a home in Mayweather Promotions. He can come there and work.
But it's a different story now.
Well, the thing is this. Richard quitting has put a lot of things in limbo. Richard had built a strong relationship with Al Heyman, who manages pretty much all your major stars in boxing and a vast majority of Golden Boy's roster. With that, some of those guys aren't actually signed to Golden Boy. They're just signed to Al Heyman. We're fighting on Oscar De La Hoya's Golden Boy cards. So right now, Oscar's kind of Schitt's Creek. Yeah, all praise to Al Heyman. Thank Al Heyman for all things possible. Yeah. Through him, anything is possible. And we need jobs, Al. So Mr. Watson Twins, if you've seen this podcast, get at us. Miss Donna 61 on Twitter. Punch underscore the number 2 the face on Twitter. Get at us, Watsons. Mr. Watson.
Whatever it is, I will do it.
But it leaves a lot of fighters in limbo. It also leaves Floyd Mayweather in limbo here for September 13th. Floyd said this week, hey, Richard's quit. I'm done doing business with Golden Boy. Leonard Elderby later, about 24 hours later, kind of cleared it up, but still made it clear they don't plan on doing business with Golden Boy, at least here for the September fight. Problem with that is, what a lot of people don't realize, and to the blind eye they don't see, is that Floyd Mayweather's fights, he's using Golden Boy's promoter's license in the state of Nevada. Mayweather Promotions does not have a promoter's license in the state of Nevada. So, in order for him to fight here in September, he's going to have to work out a deal with some other promoter.
He better do something in September.
And he's going to have to do it quick. All of a sudden now they're saying,
I took vacation days.
They're not opposed to fighting Amir Khan over in the UK. We don't see that happening. Because Amir Khan said anyway he can't fight because of Ramadan.
Who's left for him to fight?
Well, and that's the thing. If they're contracted with Golden Boy or contracted with Al Heyman, how's that going to work out? So the promoting part of it is going to be real interesting come September on how that works out for Floyd Mayweather.
Well, there's no if. Cotto's going to win on Saturday. Would that be a possibility?
It could be, but
I wouldn't want to see that.
You have to understand this, though. Cotto's in a good spot with Bob Arum, Top Rank. Mm-hmm. He may not want to screw that up because Bob Arum is going to actually help Miguel Cotto promote his fighters with Miguel Cotto Promotions, which is just a horrible stable of fighters, by the way. God-awful. But, Miguel may not want to screw that up. He's in a good spot with him. He's getting paid. So
that's what it's all about, getting paid.
Floyd's options are kind of
coins.
It's going to be a little bit weird how that works out come September. Obviously, as news breaks, I'll tweet about it at punch_2 the face, and also have it at punchtotheface.com. Right here. Yeah. Placement. Product placement. But, the timing of this seems weird for Richard to quit because this weekend Oscar De La Hoya gets put in the boxing Hall of Fame.
Richard shady.
That's a snake move. You know what? That's a jilted lover bitch move right there, Richard. Okay?
That is.
You get no love in the streets for that one, Rich.
None.
Let Oscar have his shine this weekend. Okay? He's trying to get in the Hall of Fame. So let him have his moment. You could have quit last week. You could have quit next week.
That's right.
Doing it this week seems really suspect to me.
Real shady.
That's jilted lover style stuff. I don't like that. But, we'll see what happens with Oscar. Oscar kind of been real hush-hush about it. He's just trying to enjoy the moment here of being inducted in the Hall of Fame. He also has his big fight he's promoting for Canelo Alvarez against Anderson Lara. We'll have a podcast about that.
Yeah.
There's going to be a lot of things changing by the time that fight happens and what have you. So we'll be back between now and July. Trust me on this one.
So true.
But a couple things I want to get Miss Donna's opinion on before we get out of here. John Jones has not signed his contract extension with the UFC. He hasn't signed his bout agreement to fight Alexander Gustafsson in a rematch here for August 30th at UFC. I think it would be 176 if I'm doing my math right. They have him like every weekend, for Christ's sakes.
I'm getting burned out on him.
But he has said in a 15-second Instagram video, which he later took down, he wants to fight Daniel Cormier. Daniel Cormier is undefeated. Daniel Cormier made Dan Henderson his little ragdoll a couple of weeks back at UFC 173. So, who knows about that? So, if you're John Jones, do you listen to what Dana White's telling you and say you have to fight Alexander Gustafsson next? Or do you say it's my career, I should be able to fight who I want to fight when I want to fight him, and you pay me?
Well, in a real world, what I would do what I wanted to do.
That's
just me. But we all know how Dana is. Dana's dirty. Dana is dirty. I love you, Dana White, but you're dirty. So, I think John Jones is going to go ahead and do what he wants to do. He's pissed because he said Dana put his business out there.
Yeah, and John Jones he's a kind of a different breed of guy.
I think he's not afraid of Dana by any means.
One thing about John Jones that I've kind of noticed, especially in 2014, John Jones really could give two shits what you think about it. And I really respect that because I could give two shits what people think of me. So maybe that's why John Jones is amongst my favorite combat sports athletes. Two shits. but we'll see. Obviously, I'll have breaking news on that, on what happens with John Jones on Punch the Face Radio, which is every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Central Time, part of the Bad Culture Radio Network. Plug. Another thing we wanted your opinion on, Miss Donna, before we go. Last time we had a podcast, it was actually before Bellator had their first pay-per-view event.
Oh, yes.
And, it was really one guy in particular I want to ask you about. Tito Ortiz.
Hotmess.com. Hotmess.com.
He made his return to MMA, choked out Alexander Smiko, who's a wee bit middleweight.
Darling, sweetie, I love you. But you didn't do nothing. You did absolutely nothing. That was what? 2 seconds?
It was underneath 2 minutes, I want to say.
And he talking like he done all these rounds and he done all this and now he calling out who he want to. Just sit down. Just stop.
Another thing that kind of came about here last week with Tito Ortiz is he's actually been physically removed from the UFC Hall of Fame.
Sure, I seen that.
So it's like he didn't exist.
I saw that.
Like everything about Tito Ortiz is now gone as far as UFC lore records
White
go.
Mad and boy,
it's like he got erased. I don't know how I feel about that, but I mean, we all know what history is.
Shady.
Yes. Some say Tito requested it. Others say it was Dana White's doing. I don't know. I really wish those two would just hug it out and make it up, but egos are egos. It'll never happen, unfortunately. It probably won't happen until someone gets sick or something ill happens.
Dana's an asshole and Tito's an asshole.
Yeah. I mean, when you have two dickheads hitting each other, pause.
Yeah. It's not gonna work.
But what can you do? But obviously, I'll have Tito's next fight news, whenever that may be. Probably won't be until this fall.
He's just a joke. It's just like, at some point you need to stop. Really, he's
kind of an attention whore, but it is what it is. But you never know. Our paths may cross with Tito here in Invicta here sometime later this summer. We hope. Hopefully, he'll be at one of those shows.
I'm still going to say hello to you,
and we're going to say hello to you, Tito. We're going to go up to you and ask you for a photo, and I'm even going to ask you for an interview. And if not for an interview, I may just try to punch you. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
I will be stalking you.
Yeah. But that's all the time we have for this week. Like I said, we'll be back again with another podcast.
We will be back. Hopefully, I will have my theme music, Mike.
Okay, Big Mike, she's calling you out again, homie.
I'm just saying.
Make sure you go to punchtheface.com. I actually now have every month I'm going to start naming a knockout of the month for both for either MMA or boxing. So I'm always looking for submissions. If you have any ideas, tweet me at punch_2theface. Also, make sure you listen to me at Punch the Face Radio again every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Central Time, part of the Bad Culture Radio Network. You can also read on my MMA work at badculture.net. Mm-hmm. And for the perfect blend of boxing and music, make sure you check out my family at thetitlefight.com. Woo-hoo. And as always, make sure you follow Miss Donna at MissDonna61 on Twitter. Again, her birthday is going to be here on June 21st, so make sure you show her some love. 21. Send her a tweet. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep. And also, again, probably, I know we'll have this before the time, but I may just do a separate podcast promoting Brandon's birthday bash, August 9th through the 11th.
Now see, when you talking about my birthday,
be clear, I get a birthday. Las Vegas, you better be there. I'm going to be there, okay? So you better be there too.
I'll be alone. Nobody cares about Miss Donna and her birthday. That's okay.
Well, until then, again, Brandon Stubbs, the lovely Miss Donna, everybody stay safe, stay blessed, and until next time, boxing fans, we're out.
Bye.